Hi everyone, my name is Bethany and you're watching another Writing Werewolf video. So hopefully this will be the first in a series of 5-minute reviews where basically when I write a review on my blog, I'll accompany it with like a 5-minute video talking about it. And hopefully they will stick to 5 minutes because otherwise it's gonna be a disaster. So the book that I'm discussing today is Clown in a Cornfield by Cesare. So I read this last November. I initially didn't want to pick this up because it was one of those things where I saw lots of good reviews and then I saw lots of bad reviews and I was like, well, it's either going to be great or it's going to be terrible. And eventually I saw a couple of 3-star reviews and I was like, do you know what, it seems okay, I'm gonna try it. This girl and her father moved to Kettle Springs, which is in sort of middle of nowhere America. She falls in with this crowd of other teenagers and it quickly becomes apparent that all the adults kind of hate the teenagers because of things that the teenagers have done. So one of the teenager's name is Cole and his dad used to run the factory that employed most of Kettle Springs. And then there was like the summer before the main character Quinn moves there, Cole's sister goes diving in a reservoir and accidentally she dies basically. And that's where the book starts, and then you kind of, that's like a prologue, and then you kind of skip to Quinn moving to the town, and it's basically, it all happens over the course of about a night. Most of the book happens over the course of like a night, with like the first maybe third taking place in like the couple of like I don't know if it's like the week or a couple of days leading up to that single night, but there are clowns, there are cornfields, there are murders, which is exactly what I wanted out of this book. And it was really interesting because it's not, it doesn't take itself too seriously. It's basically a slasher B movie, but in book form. And I really, really loved it. It was so much fun to read. You don't need things to have meaning. You don't need things to be like literary masterpieces to enjoy them. It was a fun read. I read it in like a couple of days. I enjoyed it so much. I've been thinking about it a lot lately, which is why I'm doing my review now. And I really, really, really enjoyed it. But yeah, it's one of those books that it is like an 80s slasher film, even though it has modern technology. It's set in like 2016, 2017. It's set like around then. So you get like the sort of very American Republican sort of vibe, conservative vibe in this town, and it's just great. I just really enjoyed it, and I can't express how much I really enjoyed it. It does take like a lot of the tropes that you would normally see in like slasher films or like horror, like B movies, things like that. So you have like the new girl in the town, you have like a tragedy that hits the town that sort of sparks all of this. You've got like the horny teenagers that wander around causing trouble. You've then got clowns, you've got an abandoned factory, you've got like so much murder and bloodthirsty death and a whole range of ridiculous weapons. And I really enjoyed it. But at the same time, it does subvert most of those tropes. So you have like, well, I don't want to spoil anything because this is a spoiler-free one, but most of the tropes that you would expect to see, not like the fun, murdering sort of stuff, but the sort of ones that more like relationship ones, like where, oh, the only 2 survivors get together, that sort of thing. A lot of those are turned on their heads, and I really like that aspect of it. Surprisingly LGBT friendly. That's all I'll say in terms of spoilers. It's surprisingly LGBT friendly. And I just loved it so much. So yeah, go pick yourself up a copy of Clown in a Cornfield if you haven't read it already. If you have read it, let me know what you thought about it down below. You can follow me on Instagram and Twitter at writingwerewolf.reads and at writingwerewolf respectively. And also check out my written review on my blog. I'll be doing a short podcast to accompany it, I think, at some point, eventually. But yeah, give this one a read. And I'll see you next time. Bye!